trail into our 2023 sheep trip in northern BC. We're just a couple kilometers in, headed for sheep country. It's going to be a pretty long pull to get in there, but we've got really good weather and pretty much no rain in the forecast, which is better than you could ask for on a sheep trip. So here we go. First look into some sheep mountains. Still got a ways to get in there. Oh, we made it to a camp spot down at this lake over one mountain, and we're gonna head up into the range behind me tomorrow and try to camp up there for a week. So this is camp for the night. Well, we're headed up the mountain. The sun's coming out, it's starting to get hot. Glassing up the first mountain we went around, but we are almost out of the brush and alders, so the bugs are horrible, but once we're through that, we'll be kind of up in the clear and we can really start glassing some more. So it's getting exciting. We're actually starting to feel like we're hunting now, not just hiking. Taking another break on this steep climb. You can see the lake down below. Where we slept last night, and way past this mountain here down in the valley bottom, that's where it all started. It's been a pretty long grind. We're probably about 16 kilometers in so far, and climbing's just really getting started. Well, we finally made it to the top. Quite a grind. I don't know how many kilometers, I'll have to check the inReach, but this is what we get to look at. And after 1.5 days of hiking, we're hunting. Finally. It's so nice to be walking on some flat ground. That's the first time since we left the truck. So we'll go find some more water. We found a couple little lakes up here. We're out of water right now, but we'll get restocked and set up camp. There's some big valleys that we can glass coming up. Well, this is camp for the night. Just having our dehydrated meals. Gonna hit the sack early tonight, and hunt hard first thing tomorrow. This is the first morning that we're actually like in sheep country, so just glassing this huge basin. It's just getting to be sunrise now. No sheep so far, but just absolutely gorgeous in here. So hopefully we can turn one up. We can spend all day here looking at this. It's just massive, so fingers crossed. Well, we made it to the other side of the big plateau we're on, and we're just glassing into a basin on this side. It's just like beautiful in here, but still no sheep. We did cut some tracks on the way over here, which were like the first ones we've seen, so just gotta keep picking it apart. Well, they're not headed towards camp. That's kind of a bonus.
Well, we'll see. We're just taking a long way around us because we kind of are heading horizontal. They're going north-south now.
It's not what I really want to have to deal with. But...
No.
So I think we essentially have glassed out this whole basin. We found one badger and those 3 grizzlies. And we watched the grizzlies go all the way past Corey in the distance and over the edge that way, and our camp is like over there, so I don't think they're headed for our camp, which is good. We would have probably started boogieing back there if they were headed that way, but trying to find a nice seep off this little, not really a glacier, but big chunk of snow that's still here, and there's running water, so should be able to filter some out. Well, we just moved into a new basin and it's a absolute dandy. Still, we're just not seeing anything moving yet. It is kind of the heat of the day, so we'll just keep picking it apart. A series of valleys that kind of all drop into one huge valley, so fingers crossed there's something in here. Sun's starting to go down. We're about 3 hours from our tents, probably. That's with no breaks. And we're just gonna go dip into the last little valley here before we head back. I guess we're probably gonna be pushing further tomorrow, moving up this plateau, probably another 10K or something like that. Home sweet home. And that's a wrap for day 1 of hunting, day 3 of trip. Day 4. Had a good sleep. We're just pushing into a new area for today to try to turn up some sheep. Well, we finally have our first hooved spot of the trip. And they're just below the skyline over there. Long ways, there's like 4 goats over there. So we're just gonna put the spotters on them. Oh, shit. I was under the ice, eh? Doesn't sound like antler anymore.
Waterlogged.
We have a ram. He's on the skyline. He's alone. We're a long ways, like kilometers away, so he doesn't look full curl from here, but he does look like a mature ram, so absolutely need to get a closer look. He's over on that skyline, so hopefully he's still there in a couple hours.
They're only judged by God and the fruits that they've dropped, and left there to rot. All the weeds that they grew are never ending. They slave the whole human race, making dollars off our fate, while your hands getting stained. And transaction time is all we got left. So count your cards and hold your breath, or the fool's state of mind. But hey, it's a paycheck, God only knows.
So we're on this ram at about 600, 620, and he's close. He's close. We're having a tough time counting rings with the heat waves, and he's like maybe just full curl, so we're just gonna wait it out, and hopefully we can get something that will give us confirmation that he's at least 8 or 9, but he's close, so this is great. Well, I think he's 7. His left side is almost full curl. He's got a flat back, a little bit of a Roman nose. Doesn't have that bowed back. He doesn't have a pot belly. Not even close to full curl on the right. It's just not our guy. Just not our guy. But it's good to see. We've covered a lot of ground. And this is the only ram we've seen, and he's by himself, and he's walking away, and he's not legal. So quick gear breakdown on optics. Corey's got the Razor 65.
85.
Oh, the 85. Big boy. Got a Nikon. Got the 150 to 600 mil lens. Sony A7C. We've both got Razor UHDs. And this is the bee's knees, the Polar Pro filter. So that's what we're running for optics. Got one more lens. Back in my backpack, another Tamron, wide angle. And that all adds up to just camera gear, probably over 15 pounds in my pack that I've been toting around every day, which kind of sucks, but it's all part of it. It's kind of worth it when you actually do see rams. Headed back to camp. Successful day, I guess, because we found a ram. First sheep of the trip. I'm just worried it might be the only one in here. Snack game is on point. This moon cheese is super high calorie and super lightweight. Been having a bag a day. It's like 350 calories for this little bag, so get it. Well, made it back to camp. Just gotta grab the food bags. Morning of day 5. Gonna head back to the area around where we saw that sheep. That's where the most sign was for sure, and hopefully there's more rams that have moved into the area. It's looking like a good day, another sunny one. So doing some glassing here, morning of day 5, and we've spotted probably 30 sheep. Way too far to be able to tell if they're ewes and lambs or rams. We're thinking ewes and lambs probably, because they're in two big groups. One group's like 15, the other one's a dozen or so. But there's probably a lot that we aren't seeing at this distance. They're just specks in the spotting scope. So just for reference, they are just like on that skyline, just below that skyline, which would be like pretty much a day's travel for us, but we're gonna cut the distance by a quarter or so by wrapping around this valley and try to find out if there's rams. If we can confirm there's rams over there, like, we're going. We'll find a way. So we've now glassed up like over 40 sheep. Looks like 3 rams, like 15 kilometers away probably, and they're in somewhere that we just can't get to. It would take days, I think, and logistically it's just out of reach in the time that we have. But lambs and ewes, yeah, we've seen like 40. So hopefully something turns up that's actually achievable. Trying to make a big push over the group of sheep we saw this morning. It's turning out to be like a 4-hour push probably. We're maybe 3/4 of the way there now. They were too far away to tell if they were rams or not, so another hour and a bit after we put our boots on, we'll see, and then if we decide we have to go over there, we have to drop into a valley and climb another mountain, so Not sure it'll happen today, but just looking everywhere, doing all we can. Feet are looking pretty haggard and feeling pretty beat up, but that's all part of it. Well, we just hiked like, I don't know, 12 or 15 kilometers or something probably. It took us 4.5 hours just to get closer to some sheep that we saw in the next mountain block, and the heat waves were so bad we just couldn't tell if they were rams from way back. So we got over here and it's just another band of ewes and lambs. So we'll class for another couple hours till dark, but that was a big push. Heading back to camp and glassed over to the ridge where we saw that ram last night, and we've just spotted another ram. So we'll get some glass on him. If it's a stud, we might be able to tell from here, and I don't know if we can make it there by dark, but something to go on. That ram is right up here. Shit. Back at camp, well fed, exhausted, heading to bed. Gonna kill a ram tomorrow. Well, today's day 6. And I am gonna wear a clean shirt. So it's day 6, it's like noon, just afternoon. We spent the morning glassing a lot of country, and now we're pretty much climbing the last mountain in our mountain block that we haven't been up. I think we found the needle in the haystack, which was that one ram that we weren't able to shoot. But every day brings the chance that a new ram or a band of rams has potentially moved in. So we're just covering as much country as we can here. So we just kind of came over a rise and saw 2 rams in some really gnarly rocks. Just had us pinned right away, so tried to get the spotter on them. One of them probably isn't legal, but there's a chance. The other one looked pretty small, but didn't have enough time to really suss that out. But they were just over there on that knife ridge, and we saw them kind of drop over the back. So I guess now we're probably just gonna hang out here for the afternoon and see if they come up to feed. We'll go up over the top and see what the backside looks like, if it's grassy or something. But this is what we've been waiting for 6 days. So yeah, pretty awesome. That's what we're here for.
Bad men turn good women wrong and make bastards out of their sons and fools of themselves. They're only judged by God and the fruits that they've dropped and left there to rot. all the weeds that they grew are never ending.
Trying to stay off the skyline a little bit. We can't see where those rams dip down. It's pretty jagged. But now we're pretty much on top. And we're just gonna keep going around and peeking over and see if we can find either more sheep or see those ones again and get a better look. But this is like the highest point around. Well, a couple mountains that might be taller, but they're not really in our block. Absolutely amazing up here. So those rams, they kind of snuck down and around away from us somewhere in those really jagged teeth off that ridge. So we just circled around the mountain and we're trying to just get a look at them, see if there's any more there. So we're just up on top of the world here, filtering some muddy water, and it's coming out nice and clean from the filter. Corey just glassed up a goat. We could not find those rams again. They gave us the slip, so what we did, we saw them down on those cliffs below us, so we circled around that mountain and glassed the cliffs from the other side. But they move a lot faster than we do, so I'm not sure if they just tucked into another little hidey hole or what they did, but we can't find them. So we're gonna sit here till the heat waves start to decrease and hopefully we see some sheep and can glass a little better when it's cooler. So once again, after we thought we were headed back to camp, we glassed just one more area, found a ram, and pretty much certain that it's the same one we've seen. Now this is the third day we've seen him. He's pretty well in the same area, but just on a crazy steep side hill in the shadows. So he is over on that face. You can see him on the screen there. Well, today's our final hunt day, and we're just having breakfast, kind of getting geared up here. Sun's already just starting to come up. We've got about a 2-hour hike to get to where we've been seeing rams. Spend the day over there, and then we're gonna pack out tomorrow morning, whether we've got a ram or not. We've got a long pack out. It'll take us all day probably, so just enjoying another morning at camp because we've probably only got one more tomorrow. So we're at the top of the mountain here and relocated that ram from last night. We assume it's a ram we've seen, but should probably try to get a confirmation on that. So hopefully some of his buddies, older buddies, show up and we can find something legal. It's pretty cool to just sit here and watch. Well, we hunted hard, hiked back to camp at sunset here, having a bite to eat. We're pretty exhausted. We've been putting on a lot of miles, just leaving no stone unturned looking for these sheep. Found a ram today, and it was the same ram that we've kind of been seeing. Couldn't find the other two smaller ones to see if they were paired up with maybe something legal. We spent about 2 hours watching the one ram that we figure is 7.5 and not full curl, and yeah, just I don't think there's a legal ram in here, or we would have found it. We gave it everything we had. It was an awesome trip. We have a really tough long pack out tomorrow, so we're gonna have an early night tonight, get up at like 4 in the morning or something, load up and get out of here. Then we have like a 20-hour drive home. Lots of space. These are the tents we've been using for the last 6 days on our sheep trip. They're just one-man trekking pole style tent. And there, we've been just pitching them a little bit higher so there's a bit of a breeze to cut down on the condensation. I make these tents myself. They weigh like just a hair over a pound. There's a bug net incorporated inside. That one has a removable bug net. This one's like incorporated into the fabric, so it's all one piece. Quick video just to show the inside of one of my 7 Summit Systems homemade tents. This has been home for a week-long northern BC sheep trip. Covers all my gear in the vestibule here. It's a zipperless design. Has all my camera gear. It's got bug netting along the sides, and here zippered pocket for cell phone and inReach. Sorry, mesh pocket. Mesh on the sides. This thing can be staked up a lot higher so there's more airflow underneath, but we've been getting quite a bit of wind, so I have it pitched quite low. It's usually supposed to be probably about 6 or 8 inches higher than this, but this is plenty of room. This one has an incorporated zipper on the side so that I don't have to get out of bed at night to relieve myself if I have to, and typically I have to get up to pee like once a night anyways with the amount of water I'm trying to drink before bed. So yeah, just wanted to show off the palace that I've been sleeping in. So we're hiking out and look over, like just before we're getting off this plateau out of the mountains to drop down, and there's a ram. So we dropped our shit really quick and got the spotter out, and he's even smaller than the one we saw yesterday. We reviewed a bunch of the video of the one we've been watching the last few days, and like there's a decent chance that he has an 8th ring, but it's not the kind of ram you want to take, and then you're really rolling the dice if you're taking one like that. You want to take something mature and feel good about it, and not mess around with a ram that's not full curl, just going on rings that are barely there. So I think we made the right decision. He might have been legal, but definitely wasn't worth taking. So I guess we'll still be on the lookout here for the next little bit, just in case there's a ram on the way out. Fucking loser. So we made it through the sketchy part on the side hilling. Mostly unscathed, a couple spills, but that's probably the worst of it. Now we just have to drop into this valley and go way down into the very, very bottom of the big valley. Smoke's rolling in. Temperatures are pretty cool this morning, so we probably picked a perfect day to pack out of here. It was pretty hot on the way in and a lot of vertical, but it's mostly downhill from here. Well, we're on the trail out. Had an awesome 8 days of sheep hunting in a really tough area. Kind of beat us down, but I think I would like to come in here again because we were seeing sheep in the end. We kind of figured some things out, and like this is the 4th time I've gone on a sheep hunt. I've never been sheep hunting with somebody who's sheep hunted before, like other than my buddy here, Corey. We went 2 years ago together, but that was his first trip. So like we're learning everything from scratch, and I think that's awesome. Like so many people wish and want to go on a sheep hunt but don't know where to go and don't have somebody to take them and show them the ropes. Like we have a very long learning curve ahead of us, and we've been on 4 trips. I've been on 4 trips and haven't killed a ram yet. I've seen legal rams and just like didn't have the experience to make the call. This ram was really close. We probably, I don't know. I'm glad we didn't kill him. He's too small, but even if he did prove to be legal, it was not the ram to kill. So I think anybody out there that like wants to do this, just start going. There's no shame in going on these trips and being unsuccessful, because the learning curve is massive, and there are people that do this and go on their first trip and kill a ram, and that's great. But when we kill our first rams, like it's gonna be quite the sense of accomplishment that we get knowing that like we started from scratch with this. And yeah, I'm just having a blast, and I can't wait till the next one. Like this pack out's fairly excruciating, but it would have been a lot more painful on the body having a ram to pack out. But like either way, I've got a smile on my face, and this was awesome. So hope everybody enjoyed it, and hopefully on the next one there's a twister on the back of my pack and a little bigger smile on my face, because one of these trips we're gonna get it done. So thanks for watching.